Day TV with Chris and Michelle, joined by a special guest by the name of Patrick DeGuire, San Diego native who started his career in stand-up comedy right here in SD and performing after losing a significant amount of vision due to a disease called, and please help me, Patrick?
Optic neuritis.
When did this all happen?
About 16, 17 years ago.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I did lose a significant part of my vision. But at the same time, I've been able to turn a negative into a positive and use stand-up as a form of self-therapy while making people laugh.
That's tremendous. Seriously. Yeah. I know Nina Garing here over at the UT is currently working on a story that's going to come out on Wednesday about your life and your plight, if you will, and you're going to be profiled one-on-one front page of the paper. That's fantastic.
Really excited about that. Very honored.
Now, when it comes to your situation, pardon my ignorance, but do you have any sight whatsoever, some sight?
I do have some sight. I see pretty well still with my peripheral. It's my center that's distorted.
I see.
But I'm able to get along pretty good without too much help.
Yeah.
You know, having bad vision, though, means I'm actually afraid to discipline my own children because they're the ones that help me cross the street.
Right.
I got to be careful.
Keep them on your side.
Exactly. But overall, been able to adjust fairly well. So.
Now, when this first happened, was it a hard thing to kind of wrap your head around when it was all happening, and that's what kind of set you forward with your comedy?
Yeah, definitely. You know, losing my vision at a young age, it's hard. You know, especially I was just in my early 20s.
Wow.
And but I figured, I can either feel sorry for myself or move on. And started doing stand-up, had some early success, and I've been very fortunate. Been able to travel the world and do a bunch of other things.
Yeah, you've done stuff on Comedy Central, correct?
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the stuff you've done since.
I mean, I've been blessed. I mean, I've gotten to work with the likes of George Lopez, Paul Rodriguez, Dave Attell, the list goes on and on. I've gone overseas on numerous occasions performing for the troops, and I always tell people when you go overseas, when you go to a comedy club, people want to laugh. When you go overseas, people need to laugh.
Man, right?
Just got back performing at the Tropicana in Las Vegas, which
Good
is
for you.
That's gotta be fun.
So this is a bona fide career for you, opposed to what did you do before all this?
I was working at Pepsi as a merchandiser.
Okay.
But with my loss of vision, I can't drive anymore.
Sure.
So I had to, look at doing something else. And
were you a big fan of comedy before? Or how did the transition start for you?
You know what? My mom said, my mom read me an article in the Union Tribune that someone had done on Fred Burns, who has since passed away. He used to manage the Comedy Store in La Jolla.
Okay,
and
yes.
he had a disease called spinal bifida. And he was able to turn his negative into a positive. So my mom was like, you were a class clown while you were attending Sweetwater High School.
Right.
So why don't you do some stand-up? And I never thought about it.
Interesting.
I thought, you know what, I'll try it. Fell in love with it, and 16, 17 years later, I'm here on UTTV.
That's fantastic. See, I mean, I read your story before we came on, and just as a parent, and so, we all have our different struggles in life, if you will, and I'll just tell you, just reading your bio has inspired me personally.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you.
And I'm not even kidding when I say that. Maybe it's just it's Monday, I'm a little emotional, who knows, but I came into the office, read your bio, and almost teared up. I was like, this is amazing, and I'm so glad to have you on here. And tell us about this event that you're doing this weekend,
well,
the 28th.
June 28th and 29th, I'm going to be performing at the Madhouse Comedy Club, which is a beautiful comedy club at Horton Plaza.
Sure.
Free parking and no 2-item minimum, which is a nice plus for those that might be tight on their budget.
Of course.
There'll be 2 shows there, 7:30 and 9:45 each night. And there'll be a number of different organizations I'll be working with, raising money, from the American Cancer Society to a number of the different high school football teams in San Diego. And a couple of the little leagues and basketball clubs and soccer clubs. So come out, great cause. You'll be able to donate some money to these different organizations that are raising money.
Great.
And take it from there.
That's fantastic. And if people want to buy tickets, what's the best way to do so? Just go to the Madhouse Comedy website?
Madhouse website, and I believe their number is 702-6666.
702. Hey, look at you.
Was that good? Was that good?
Seriously, right on. Works for me, my friend.
That's right. Having a loss of vision, you have to have a good memory. So you got to remember everything.
And more importantly, where can we find you online, Patrick?
PatrickDeGuire.com, or you can catch me on Facebook and see where else I'm at.
And that's DeGuire, DeGuire, for
yes,
those
capital
playing along
G.
at home. Capital G.
Capital G.
Thank you so much, Patrick.
Thank you so much for having
success,
me.
and I really mean it. Thank you for the
Thank you
thank you for the inspiration. I really appreciate
so much.
that.
I appreciate it.
From a fellow father.